Hello.
Hi.
You're probably wondering, what is going on? Why are we sharing a Patreon bonus episode of an old-timey podcast in the Let's Go to Court RSS feed?
Because we want more people to listen to an old-timey podcast, Kristin.
Okay, yes, that is true. But also here are some other things that are true. Over at Old Timey Podcast World Headquarters, we had some personal stuff come up this week that put work on the back burner. So we decided to put out a bonus episode. And we chose this one. It's really fun. It's lighthearted. It's about the history of the pet rock. Do you want to know about that? Yes, you do. Believe me, you do.
I thought it was a topic that Let's Go to Court listeners would absolutely love and find hilarious. And there's court stuff in it.
And they love rocks. That's the thing about Let's Go to Court listeners.
There's violence. There's sex.
Folks, don't let him get you excited.
It's got everything.
It does not have everything. But no, there's a reason we're posting it here in the Let's Go to Court RSS feed. And it's that at the end of Norm's story, I decided to finally address a question that I had been receiving for a very long time.
About a year and a half, yeah.
And the question was essentially, are you still friends with your former co-host of Let's Go to Court? And boy, let me tell you, that was an uncomfortable one to answer, but I'm so glad I answered it. It felt so much better to just be honest with people. And it's funny because when I did that, I genuinely thought, for real, we'll share this episode on Patreon and then the world will know. And then no one will ask me the question again and everything will be great.
Turns out not everybody is subscribed to our Patreon, Kristin.
Which feels illegal and is shocking. But in a more real sense, it did kind of teach me that, like, no, if I want a message to get out there, you need to actually put it out there.
That's right.
So we decided to put this bonus episode out there. And I know that for some folks, the message might be a bit of a bummer. If so, I am sorry. But it feels more like me to just be real about it.
Yeah. And if you're wondering what the message is, you're just going to have to listen to the episode, okay? You got to learn about the pet rock first. Don't skip forward.
Don't you dare skip ahead.
Learn about the pet rock. Impress your friends with your newfound knowledge. And then you can hear Kristin's message about
You were about to say something sassy. And then you can hear a middle-aged Midwestern woman get emotional on camera.
I held back, though.
So, yeah, although my message does get emotional and can be a little sad, I do hope you all enjoy this episode. It's a good episode.
Yeah, it's great.
And by the way, if you're hearing the sound of my voice right now, that means you're in the Let's Go to Court RSS feed.
Do not panic.
Except do panic. And with that panic, here's what we want you to do. Please do us a favor. Go over to an old-timey podcast and hit subscribe. Our show is available wherever you listen to podcasts. Thank you all so much for listening. We appreciate you, and we love you.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Hear ye, hear ye. You are listening to an old-timey podcast. I'm Normie C.
And I'm Kristin Caruso.
And on this bonus episode, I'll be talking about the pet rock.
What? How could you have possibly found enough information on the pet rock?
Kristin, I left no stone unturned.
Oh my God.
I searched every nook, every cranny, every orifice for all the information I could on the pet rock.
Sounds like you found it up your butt. Thank you. Thank you.
Just a warning, that sound is going to be in this episode a lot.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm excited. First, we've got to thank the people.
People, party people.
Thank you, patrons.
Thank you very much for your support. We're so excited to be providing you with old-timey bonus episodes, monthly trivia parties, Discord chitty chats, cards and stickers, and more.
And now, a ton of information about the pet rock.
Okay, you laugh, Kristin. But in our subreddit, r/oldtimey podcast, we have a topic suggestion mega thread, okay?
Okay.
And if you can believe this, the second most upvoted comment was the story of the pet rock. People want to know.
Okay. You know what? I doubted you with your JCPenney series, and I ended up fascinated despite my best efforts. I'm preparing to be fascinated today, Norm.
Shout out to Reddit user BZB has cats for the suggestion. Love the username. Okay, well, Kristin, before we begin this fascinating episode, I do have a confession.
Mm-hmm.
I may have adopted a new pet for us.
Is it a rock?
Look, I'm really sorry. I should have talked to you about it because, you know, pet's a huge responsibility. But I saw this cute little guy. I could not resist. Hang on, let me grab him.
Uh-huh.
Kristin?
Oh, my God.
I'd like you to meet our new son. His name is Perry Masonry.
Oh, I hate how much I like that.
Isn't he cute?
Very cute, yes.
Yes.
Shouldn't he have some googly eyes, though?
Excuse me?
Don't all pet rocks have... Oh,
No, they do not.
Okay.
The original pet rock did not have googly eyes, Kristin.
tell me more.
I will. Now, I know you're a little concerned that we have 4 pets now, but I assure you Perry Masonry is very well trained. I've already been training him, so check this out. Perry, stay. Perry, roll over.
Oh my God, Norm.
See, he's pretty good, isn't he?
He did a great job, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's not pooping on the rug, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, get this. Perry Masonry does not need potty training.
Incredible.
And we don't have to worry about him running away either. Why? Because he's a fucking rock.
You didn't have to say it like that.
And Kristin, if you can believe it, back in the 70s, for a very short period of time, pet rocks like Perry Masonry were all the rage. It was one of the top-selling items of the 1975 holiday season. Celebrities were bringing their pet rocks onto talk shows. Communities across the country held events like the Pet Rock Olympics or pet rock talent shows.
What?
Some people loved the novelty of it all and just had fun with it. Others could not believe that a man had convinced millions of people to buy a rock.
People didn't buy these things, did they?
Yes, they did. It was a product for sale in stores, the pet rock.
Wow.
So, who came up with the pet rock? And whatever happened to one of the greatest fads of the 20th century? Let's get sentimental and take a look back at the pet rock. Just you wait, I got a million of these.
Oh boy, we're really going to suffer, folks.
So you didn't know the pet rock was a product?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I figured some dummies probably purchased one in stores.
Uh-huh.
But I figured, no, for the most part, people just went outside. You ever heard of outside and then just glued some googly eyes on their favorite rock and called it a pet rock?
Touched grass.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, as you'll learn, googly eyes were not part of pet rocks.
Yeah, I'm sorry to keep bringing it up. I can tell it really bothers you.
So here's what I think you might be confusing it with. There was the recent Oscar-winning film Everything Everywhere All at Once. And in that movie, 2 characters transform into rocks with googly eyes, and they have a conversation in a canyon. Do you remember that scene?
I guess I do, yeah.
Yeah, so that kind of revived the whole pet rock idea because people were kind of obsessed with that movie.
Okay.
So maybe that's where you're getting it from.
All right.
Picture it, Kristin. It's April of 1975. A group of pals are hanging out at the Grog and Sirloin restaurant in Los Gatos, California. Roughly translated, the cat, right?
The cats.
The cats.
Yeah.
California.
Mm-hmm.
They're drinking. They're chit-chatting. They're having a good old time. The topic of conversation that night was pets. How much they loved them. How much they hated them. How expensive pets were. One man complained, ugh, dog training is so expensive. Another man said, yeah, you know, I love my cat to death, but damn, it's really hard to find a cat sitter when I want to go out of town. And then it was Gary Dahl's turn to speak. Dahl, spelled D-A-H-L, like the author, Roald Dahl, was a freelance copywriter who was described as, quote, a cheery teddy bear of a man. He had reddish-brown hair and blue eyes, a full beard. He was a fun guy. Dahl could have provided a lot of insight on pets. He had a lot of pets. 2 German shepherds, 2 cats, 2 goats, 2 chickens, and a guinea pig.
Just one?
1 guinea pig.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, it looked like he was kind of Noah's Ark in this
That's
whole thing.
exactly, I mean, I really liked the 222, but all right, fine.
Guinea pig was riding solo, like Jason Derulo.
Hey!
So yeah, Gary Dahl could have said a lot about pets, but instead, he took a sip of his drink, no doubt whiskey on the rocks, and said...
Oh, God, I didn't even get... Oh, I hate that I was like, why is that a joke? And then rocks. Okay, continue. Yes.
Okay, he took a sip of his drink, which was probably whiskey on the rocks.
Don't make the joke again, my God.
And he said, I don't have any problems with my pet. I have a pet rock. The table started cracking up. Oh my God, that's hilarious. You're killing me, Gary. And for the rest of the night, everyone was telling jokes about having a pet rock. Oh, imagine taking your pet rock for a walk or giving him a bath. You know, I bet it's easy to teach a pet rock commands like stay. At the end of the night, as Gary Dahl drove home to his tiny rented cabin in the redwoods of California, he couldn't stop thinking about his joke. People really thought it was funny. And that's when he had that stereotypical light bulb moment. What if there really was a pet rock?
I can't believe his joke went over this well. Like, honestly, how drunk were they?
I mean, they were drinking.
But I
couldn't find their blood alcohol level. I'm sorry. I looked. I really looked.
Yeah, you should have. But the joke went so well that he was seriously like, I'm going to create a novelty gift out of this.
Yeah. He was slaying that night, Kristin.
Okay.
He could say no wrong. You know, it seemed silly, but Gary Dahl genuinely thought he had stumbled upon an incredible idea that could make him a ton of money. And to be honest, he could have really used a W at that time because his life had gotten off to a rocky start.
Norman.
Gary Dahl grew up in a broken home. He described himself as, quote, an obnoxious brat, somewhere between a juvenile delinquent and just a bad kid.
I doubt that.
Well, he thought that of himself, I guess. He joined the Marines out of high school to straighten himself out. He got married. He had a couple of kids. After being discharged, Gary Dahl got into advertising. He was a decent artist, and he enjoyed coming up with unique ways to market products and businesses. He was especially good at copywriting. He got a job as an advertising account executive, and things were going pretty well. But then came a series of hard times. Dahl went through a divorce. And then he left his job and tried to start his own business. But it failed. Then he declared bankruptcy. Gary Dahl tried to rebound. You know, he got his advertising job back. He even found a new partner in life, a substitute teacher and waitress named Marguerite. But Dahl eventually got burnt out at his job and he quit. Now he was freelancing to help pay bills, and it was tough. Gary Dahl said freelancing was, quote, another word for starving to death. He often laid awake at night, frustrated, wondering how they were going to pay rent that month. But now, as he drove home from the bar, Dahl believed this pet rock idea would get him out of this slump and make him millions of dollars.
Okay.
Am I blowing your mind here?
Yes. The most mind-blowing part is that he was right. I mean, I don't know that he made millions, but like the idea that he made any money off of this stupid idea at all is wild.
He did make millions off this.
You're
FYI.
kidding me.
No.
You're fucking kidding me.
No, I'm not. He made millions. Shall I continue?
Yeah, I guess. Oh my God.
Kristin, he thought this idea was fantastic. Just think of how many people are allergic to pets, or maybe they can't own a pet, or maybe they don't like animals. You know, a pet rock would be a hilarious gag gift.
I mean, I don't know about hilarious, but okay, yeah.
I mean, this was exciting stuff. It was enough to give Gary Dahl an erection.
Norman, you shoehorned that in there so hard.
I'm about to bust.
Your other rock jokes have been a little more natural.
What do you mean shoehorn? That came naturally to me, baby. So when Gary Dahl got home, he excitedly told his wife, Marguerite, about the idea. Marguerite did not share Gary's enthusiasm.
Yeah, was she like, oh my God, I married an idiot? That's what I'd be thinking.
She was like, yeah, I guess it's funny and it's an okay idea, but like, I don't think it's that good.
No.
I don't think it's going to make us millionaires or anything.
No, I mean, the logical thought is we will lose money doing whatever you want to do with these rocks.
Yeah, that would be my first thought too. I guess if you want to try it, go ahead, but like, don't count your chickens, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Gary Dahl was undeterred. The next morning, he started writing up a funny training manual for a pet rock. and it was a spoof of an old German Shepherd training manual that he had sitting on his bookshelf. It was entitled, The Care and Training of Your Pet Rock. And now, Kristin, I'd like to read a few parts of that training manual for you.
Okay.
Oh, let me get Perry Masonry off the floor.
God. Yeah.
He's lonely. Come here, Perry. Ugh.
I
Good
legit
boy.
thought you were going to fall over.
Now that's comedy.
Sure.
Man, I'm all caught up in these wires like a little marionette, like a puppet.
I do know what a marionette is, yes.
What's the origin of that word?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Future topic?
No.
Why are you poo-pooing on everything today?
I'm sorry.
You're poo-pooing the pet rock. You're poo-pooing my erection jokes. And now you're poo-pooing my future topics.
I just cannot believe that this guy came up with a joke and people laughed this hard to the point that he told himself, you know what, I'm going to make millions off of this. And then he actually did.
Does it make you angry?
I guess maybe it must give me some feelings.
Interesting. A lot of people felt the same way you did, Kristin. But we'll get to that later.
Oh, no, I'm a hater, aren't I? I'm one of those grumpy, crusty people, aren't I? Uh-oh.
Grumpy and crusty.
They often go hand in hand.
Together at last. So let me read you a few items from the care and training of your pet rock.
Okay.
Item number 1. Your new rock is a very sensitive pet and may be slightly traumatized from all the handling and shipping required in bringing the two of you together. It takes most pet rocks exactly 3 days to acclimate themselves to new surroundings. After 72 hours have passed, you may remove the rock from its box and begin enjoying your new pet. If, when you remove the rock from its box, it appears to be excited, place it on some old newspapers. The rock will know what the paper is for and will require no further instruction. It will remain on the paper until you remove it.
This is actually pretty good.
Okay. Know your rock. Your pet rock didn't come out of any old rock pile, They descend from a long line of famous rocks. Their ancestors can be found amongst the rubble of the pyramids, the cobblestone streets of ancient European cities, the Great Wall of China. Here's some commands. Stay. It is very important your pet rock learn this command, as it is disconcerting to have a rock that will wander around while you are shopping for groceries or having your hair done. Is that a little chuckle I heard over there, Kristin?
I do kind of enjoy it.
Surprisingly, most rocks have no difficulty learning this command and respond quite obediently the first time they hear it. Here's another command. Stand. You're a little confused if you think a pet rock can be taught to stand. A rock has no feet. And finally, attack training. A rock is a loyal, devoted pet that can easily be trained to protect you and your family. Woe be to the burglar or prowler who ventures into the home guarded by a pet rock. Pick up your pet rock, shout the command, attack, and throw your rock with all your might. This method of protection is surefire and results are guaranteed.
This is amazing. This is amazing. You're buying the pamphlet, really.
Interesting observation, Kristin.
Well, yeah.
The Pet Rock Training Manual was 32 pages full of these kinds of jokes about taking care of a rock.
Yes.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And at first, Gary Dahl thought that would be the product, a funny book on training a pet rock. But, the more he thought about it, the more he realized that a joke book would be kind of hard to sell. It would get lost in a sea of thousands of other novelty books. That's when Dahl thought of a way to elevate the gag. What if he included with the book an actual rock and a little pet carrier? Now that would stand out in the crowd. So with the training manual complete, the next step was to find the perfect pet rock. But what kind of rock? Gary Dahl wasn't really sure. He said he just wanted, quote, a plain old dumb rock. Pretty, but not fancy.
Mm-hmm.
So Gary and Marguerite decided to do some field research. They visited the beaches in Aptos, California to look for the perfect rock. And that's when they found it. Laying silent beautifully in a pile of sand, a Mexican beach pebble.
Oh my gosh. The ones we actually have in our backyard.
That's right.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Perry Masonry. Well done.
Yeah. Isn't he gorgeous?
Yeah, it's a good rock.
Mm-hmm. Now that's a good rock. If you're watching the video version of this episode, you can see that Perry Masonry here is a genuine Mexican beach pebble. They are pretty rocks. They're smooth, easy to handle. They're plentiful. They're often used in landscaping, which is why we have them, Kristin. And landscaping rocks tend to be cheap. They're always on shale.
Oh, my God.
That one was good. Come on.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
I did like your erection joke.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you said it was shoehorned in.
It was.
Okay, it kind of was.
Uh-huh.
I had to work hard to fit an erection into the script.
Very few erections actually happened in this story.
We don't know that. We don't know. We simply will never know.
He was rock hard as he typed up this manual.
I mean, maybe.
We don't know.
Maybe pitching a tent. Maybe he's pushing rope.
Okay.
We'll never know.
That's enough.
So the training manual is complete. The rock was picked out. Now Gary Dahl needed to come up with some cute packaging to tie it all together. Luckily, he had a lot of connections from his days in the advertising business, and so he found an old graphic artist buddy to help out. But Gary Dahl couldn't pay him. He didn't have any money.
Right, because he was about to become a multimillionaire.
Yep. So instead, he promised his graphic artist buddy 10% of all of the profits for the pet rock.
Oh, shit.
And that graphic artist was like, okay.
Ooh.
And he came up with a really cute design. It's a simple little cardboard pet carrier with air holes.
Mm-hmm.
And in a big, chunky font on the side, it just read, Pet Rock. At the top of the box, there was a warning. Important. Open box carefully. Do not remove rock before reading instructions. It was cute, and it was funny.
Yeah.
So now that Gary Dahl had everything he needed, it was time to make a prototype. He took the little cardboard carrier. He placed some fake straw inside like a nest.
Mm-hmm.
He placed a Mexican beach pebble on the straw, and then he slipped in the training manual. He closed it up, and voila, the pet rock. Gary and Marguerite assembled a few prototypes, and they were ready to get this thing into stores. But there's just one problem. They were like, how do we do that? Do we sell this on a street corner? Do we just go into stores and talk to the manager and say, hey, we have this product, do you want it? But, luckily Gary had those connections, and so an old work buddy was like, here's what you need to do. You need to take this thing to gift shows and conventions.
Okay.
That's where all the suppliers are. They're always looking for new product to sell to stores. That's how you sell the pet rock. Gary smacked his forehead and was like, oh, of course.
Oh, my God.
Conventions. Why didn't I think of that? So in August of 1975, Gary Dahl took his pet rock to the San Francisco gift show. If you're lonely in San Francisco.
Oh, my God. That is beautiful, Norm.
Thank you. Thank you, Kristin.
I think I got an erection just hearing that beautiful tune.
Whoa. So most people at the convention, they saw the pet rock, they chuckled, and then they walked off.
Mm-hmm.
There didn't seem to be much interest. But finally, one man placed an order. He was a buyer for the department store, Neiman Marcus.
Oh, I thought this was going to be like a Spencer's gift kind of thing. But this is Neiman Marcus?
I'm sure there were stores like Spencer's Gifts at this convention. But yeah, big department stores came to these things too.
Wow.
He thought the pet rock was funny. It was cute. It was cheap. And best of all, it really didn't take up much retail space at all. He thought it could be an easy novelty gift to sell near the checkout aisle. And so he placed an order for 500 pet rocks. That's a decent start. Gary Dahl then showed the pet rock at gift shows in New York and Dallas. And there he got more orders. About 4,500 orders. Not bad.
Yeah.
Gary Dahl figured, well, maybe I won't be a millionaire, but, I make about $1 profit from each pet rock. So, that's a couple $1,000.
Sure. I would be thrilled. If this was my idea and I got a couple $1,000, I'd be thrilled.
Selling rocks?
Yeah.
Of course, Gary Dahl couldn't collect that couple $1,000 until he actually fulfilled the orders. And he had no more money to assemble thousands of pet rocks. Banks were not interested in providing him a loan, okay?
You're kidding.
Gary Dahl's credit was terrible. He declared bankruptcy a couple years ago. Plus, this business idea seemed absolutely nuts.
Yes.
I'm sorry, you want to sell what? A rock? And Gary Dahl was like, yeah, so what if I want to sell rocks? That's my prerogative.
I'm like, that was stupid.
Anyway, he needed money fast, and he got it from his old boss, an advertiser named George Coakley. It's unclear what their arrangement was, but Coakley loaned Dahl $10,000 to get started.
What?
Yep.
Adjusted for inflation?
I didn't check that.
Norman, you wrote all these eroction jokes, but you didn't adjust for inflation?
I'm sorry.
Ew. Oh, God.
He loaned him about $60,000.
Holy shit.
Jealous?
I cannot imagine someone coming to me and wanting $60,000 for their rock business.
For their pet rock business? I don't know. I'm taking a look at Perry Masonry, and I'm thinking, this is a good, sexy idea.
I don't know about sexy. You know what? Now that I've seen Perry from that angle, okay, I take it back. You're right, Norm. You're absolutely right.
You shouldn't think of your own pet as sexy. I'm a little disturbed.
You're the one who said sexy.
I said the idea was sexy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for making this episode weird.
It's real weird now. We're going to have to talk after we're done recording. With cash in hand, it was time to rock and roll. Gary and Marguerite got the training manuals and cardboard carriers printed up. They drove a truck down to Baja, Mexico, and picked up thousands of Mexican beach pebbles for a penny each. And in their tiny cabin, the couple assembled thousands of pet rock kits. Gary Dahl recalled it was like a madhouse. There were rocks everywhere. By October of 1975, the pet rock was ready for prime time, baby. The first orders shipped out to stores like Neiman Marcus, Macy's, and of course, the greatest department store of all time.
Say it with me.
J.C. Penney. I love your style and pet rocks. Doodle-doo. It carried a retail price of
$2.99?
Higher.
$4.99.
Lower.
$3.99.
There you go.
There we go.
$3.99. Adjusted for inflation, $20.
Oh, wow.
With the first orders fulfilled, it was time to let the world know that the pet rock was here. And Gary Dahl got to do what he did best, advertising. He got professional headshots of himself surrounded by pet rocks. He wrote up a hilarious tongue-in-cheek press release. And then he dropped off press packages wherever he could. Local TV stations, newspapers, magazine offices, and more. It was good old-fashioned boots-on-the-ground advertising. And you know what? It worked.
He really was the perfect person for this. With his advertising background.
Because he was a copywriter?
Yeah.
Yeah, he knew how to sell stuff. Even a rock.
Apparently.
Mm-hmm. An editor at Newsweek magazine read the press release and thought it was pretty funny. So they wrote a little blurb about it.
Sure.
And from there, it just kind of spread like crazy. The Associated Press picked it up. United Press International. Time Magazine. People Magazine. TV stations, radio stations. Suddenly, everyone was talking about this ridiculous new product called the Pet Rock.
This makes total sense to me. I mean, he drops this off. It's a fun, quirky little story. We all want to have some funny news mixed in with, the bad shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not surprising that this went everywhere. And he had that goofy-ass photo of himself.
It is very goofy. We'll show it on the video version.
It sells itself.
Mm-hmm. Newspaper columnists in particular really seemed to be obsessed with the pet rock. Some of them found it hilarious, calling it, quote, the greatest party gag since chattering teeth. Some columnists were a little jealous. Wow, why didn't I think of that? Others absolutely hated the pet rock, doing their best old man yells at cloud impression.
I'm an old man!
They were like, I can't believe people are paying money for a rock. What is wrong with our society?
Okay, but they're paying for the pamphlet and the little carrier and the joke of it all. I know I was grumpy and crusty at the beginning of this episode, but
Yes.
I've taken off my buttery, flaky crust, and now I'm here to defend this product.
You've moisturized, gotten the crusties off.
Although I am shocked, it's $20 adjusted for inflation.
$20. Mm-hmm. So yeah, some columnists were kind of poo-pooing on this. But as our dear old friend P.T. Barnum once said, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah.
Orders started pouring in for the pet rock. First, 1,000 a day, and then 25,000 a day.
Oh my God.
Then it got up to 50,000 a day, and then 100,000 a day.
They can't do this.
Holy smokes. Gary and Marguerite couldn't believe it. Maybe the pet rock was a real gem of an idea after all. Needless to say, production quickly outgrew the Dahl's tiny cabin in the woods. They formed a new business, Rock Bottom Productions.
Okay, yeah.
And George Coakley, the man who had loaned them $10,000, he offered up operations space at his ad agency building in San Jose, California. Of course, now they have to assemble thousands and thousands of pet rocks, so Gary Dahl contracted work with Hope Services, which provides work to people with developmental disabilities. Meanwhile, word kept spreading about the pet rock. It was featured on The Tonight Show and The Merv Griffin Show. Gary Dahl did hundreds of radio and newspaper interviews. He was becoming a little bit of a celebrity. This was the man who created the pet rock. In a matter of weeks, the Dahls had become millionaires.
That is absolutely wild. Wild. In weeks, their entire lives have changed.
Yes. They went from being in debt to being multimillionaires in a matter of weeks.
And just up to their eyeballs in Mexican beach rocks. What are they called?
Mexican beach pebbles.
Excuse me.
Yeah. It's a little offensive to Perry.
I'm sorry, Perry.
Yeah, it's if I would looked at you and I was like, what are you, like a...
Careful.
Are you...
Careful. What am I, Norm?
Yeah, pale, crusty,
okay.
Kansas gal, where are you from?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Anyway, Gary Dahl recalled going to his mailbox and just seeing it stuffed with checks. To the brim. Checks from Bloomingdale's, Neiman Marcus, Macy's, Lord & Taylor, and more. Imagine getting that in the mail.
That would be insane.
Yep.
How does your brain keep up with that kind of change?
I don't know. It's wild and it's fast and it's a big change.
And I imagine there's so much work to be done that it could be argued you almost wouldn't be thinking so much about the money. Or maybe you, I don't know. I just don't know how you would adjust.
Everything was moving very fast. I mean, he came up with this idea in April.
Yeah.
And by December, he's a multimillionaire.
Holy.
You know?
Yeah.
The pet rock quickly became one of the hottest selling items of the 1975 holiday season. But why? Why were people so obsessed with the pet rock? How did Gary Dahl convince millions of people to buy a rock? Well, for many folks, it wasn't really about the rock.
Right.
It was that hilarious training manual.
And it's the joke.
Yeah. One happy customer said, quote, "You're not paying for the rock. You're paying for the booklet, which is so dumb, it's funny. The booklet alone is worth the price." Others truly loved the novelty of having a pet rock. It was a fun conversation piece, a way to crack up your friends and family. Gary Dahl had a different theory. He thought people loved it because they were tired of wars like Vietnam, scandals like Watergate, all the doom and gloom in the news. The pet rock was a humorous escape for a bored public. And TV stations love to show off the pet rock because, quote, "Every TV station needs a brightener to put on after the weather."
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to remember, this is 1975. Vietnam War just ended, for the United States anyway. Watergate just happened. Gerald Ford's new president. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in the news.
People always love a bright spot. And when the bright spot is also something that some folks can make fun of, you know, it's like you were saying with the columnists. Everybody could kind of have a different take. It was something to be mad about or, you know, laugh about.
Yeah.
I can see why this stuck.
You can see why it caught on?
Absolutely. The other thing I'm thinking is, okay, I made a big deal about the price being adjusted for inflation, $20. But if you're trying to find a gift for somebody, I feel like you do spend a little more. And I feel like this would definitely be a novelty gift. And
A great white elephant gift.
yeah, and you can give it to basically anybody.
Yep. And it came out in October, right before the holiday shopping season. So it's like the timing was perfect.
And it was in JCPenney. So
I mean,
come on.
I mean,
Come
Jesus
on.
Christ. That's
I'd buy anything in a JCPenney.
if it's in JCPenney, you know it's quality. They stand by their products.
Sure.
I still have a pair of my Arizona jeans from 1996. They're a little tight, but they still hold up.
When Norm squeezes into his Arizona jeans, I'm a goner.
The women go crazy, I tell you. Crazy. It's like trying to stuff too much Play-Doh back into the tube.
The tube? What kind of...
the tube, the Play-Doh comes in. Yeah.
Do you mean put toothpaste back in the tube?
Sure.
Play-Doh comes in a tub, right?
Yeah. It can come in a tube too, though.
The thing I should be focused on is just making sure you never leave the house in those pants. Because once you leave in those pants and the people see you, I'm afraid I won't be able to keep you, darling.
That's right.
Wow. Okay, you could have been like, I would never, but instead you're
Kristin,
like, indeed, I do look amazing in those pants.
I'm just trying to be happy, okay?
Uh-huh.
And you're trying to keep that from me, okay? So I'd appreciate it if you let me leave the house in my Arizona jeans that clearly don't fit me anymore, okay?
Fair enough.
It looks like a bunch of Play-Doh coming out of the tube when I put those things on. So yeah, the pet rock was just what people needed during a difficult time in American history. Incredible! And the craze seemed to be showing no signs of slowing down. All across the country, people seem to be embracing the pet rock. At Lake Superior State University in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, students held a bicentennial all-breed pet rock show. In San Diego, California, a local radio station held a pet rock contest, with the winner getting an all-expense-paid trip to the Hoover Dam. Gee whiz, what a prize. In Long Beach, California, there was the Pet Rock Olympics, with events like racing, where contestants rolled their pet rocks down a hill. In Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, someone created a pet rock cemetery.
Oh.
A little dark there. Perry, I hope you never leave us. He's going to outlive us all.
It's true.
Even the music business wanted a piece of the action, Kristin.
How?
A country music record company released a song entitled That Old Pet Rock of Mine, sung by singer Chuck McCabe.
Play it.
But like the rock of ages that has stood the test of time, I know he won't forsake me, that old pet rock of mine.
Man, imagine living in a decade that had not just Disco Duck, but what's this called?
That Old Pet Rock of Mine.
The title's a little wordy, but I like it.
Yep. Really gets you moving.
Uh-huh.
Gets you moving and grooving in those Arizona jeans. Yes, the pet rock was an incredible success. The Dahls were millionaires. In interviews, Gary mostly downplayed it all. He claimed he was still humble, just an everyday guy. Money hadn't changed him, but his spending said otherwise. Gary Dahl bought several Mercedes-Benz cars for himself and his friends.
Wait, how many did he buy?
At least 3.
Oh,
that I
my
know of.
goodness. Okay.
He and Marguerite purchased multiple properties, including a hillside mansion with an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
Hold on.
Yes?
They know this craze isn't going to last forever, right? They know it's just a joke that will eventually...
Oh, they don't know. You'll see.
Oh, gosh.
They also bought a yacht center.
A yacht center?
So here's the deal. They bought a boat.
Sure.
And then they had to find a place to store the boat.
Okay, yeah.
And I guess they didn't want to pay rent to store the boat. So they're like, we'll just buy the boat storage place. So they owned the yacht center and a boat.
Okay, well, so they own another business.
Basically, yeah.
And they're making money off that business.
I have no idea.
Are they or is it like they bought an entire parking lot to park their one car?
I'm not really sure, but yeah, they bought a yacht center.
Okay, this is fascinating.
The Dahls were living that good life thanks to the pet rock, Kristin.
Oh, my.
But reporters were curious. How are you going to follow up on this incredible success? Gary Dahl said he had big plans for the pet rock. Clothing, grooming products.
No, Gary.
Food.
No, Gary. You did the idea.
Obedience training certificates.
Okay, well, that's kind of funny, but I don't know that.
How about a house for your pet rock?
No, the joke has been done.
How about water beds?
For a rock?
Yeah. I think Perry would enjoy a water bed. How about a little car for your pet rock?
Did he seriously not understand this was truly just a novelty gift? It did not have legs. Hardy har har. Like, he just needed to come up with another funny joke, or, I hate to come up with the best idea ever, how about thank your lucky stars that you've made millions of dollars on this and just like live off of that.
Yeah, I don't know how serious he was about some of these ideas. This is just what he claimed was in the works.
Okay.
A full line of accessories for your pet rock. He even hinted at special holiday rocks, like the 1976 Bicentennial rock, painted red, white, and blue. Or how about a Plymouth rock, for Thanksgiving? And soon the pet rock would be in stores across Canada, Europe, and Asia. But most of those plans would never come to fruition, because as quickly as the pet rock appeared, it disappeared. So before Christmas, Gary Dahl had sold over 1 million pet rocks. But after Christmas, sales slowed down. Between New Year's and Valentine's Day, 1976, Gary Dahl sold about 300,000 pet rocks. And by the end of February, sales of the pet rock had absolutely tanked. Orders stopped coming in. Stores could not sell them anymore. So they started slashing their prices. And in just 4 months, the pet rock was basically dead. Just goes to show you should never take success for granted.
A great joke with a powerful lesson. We appreciate it, Norm.
Thank you. That's real highbrow humor. So you might be wondering, what the fuck happened?
No one's wondering.
Okay, you want me to just end the episode then? Well, thank you very much, everybody. Goodbye.
No, don't end it now. But
that's how most other podcasts end their episode on the pet rock. But I've got a lot more to say, baby.
Wow.
I did the research. I dug deep.
F those other podcasts.
That's right. F them.
With their subpar pet rock episodes.
Okay. I don't want to toot my own horn.
Uh-oh, toot
but
toot.
I was shocked how many people didn't talk about what happened after the pet rock.
Okay, let's hear about it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to shit on any podcast specifically, or just kind of throw shade in
There's this
in
one
general?
called Let's Go to Court that I have a real bone to pick with.
Oh, boy.
There's also this huge nerd called the Gaming Historian. He's kind of hot, though.
I doubt that very much. The gaming historian?
Yeah, I mean, how hot can you be, really? Video games history? He knows gaming. He knows history. There's this guy on Twitch who, if you pay him like $1, he'll just shout out whatever. And so my buddy paid $1 for him to shout out the Gaming Historian.
Uh-huh.
This dude was so hyped for me.
Uh-huh.
He was like, hey, shout out to the Gaming Historian. He knows gaming. He knows history. Everyone go check him out. Thank you very much. And then like some dubstep music kicked in. Boots, 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 boots.
So you felt like, man, that was totally worth the $1.
That was definitely worth $1. And I think that's all that guy does for a living. You give him
Good for
$1
him.
and he'll shout out whatever you want. Anyway, back to the pet rock, Kristin. What the hell happened? Well, here's a couple of reasons. For one, there was a flood of copycat products hitting stores to cash in on the pet rock craze.
Sure.
There were products like the Pebble Pal.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was also the Rock Pet, which literally looked identical to the pet rock.
Well,
They
it's just a rock.
They just reversed the words,
Yeah.
Rock Pet. And Gary Dahl couldn't sue these competitors because you can't patent a rock. It's a rock.
Yeah, and I guess the idea wasn't deemed unique enough. Or I guess the other thing is, when it's a fad, you can't really sue somebody and get that part to work fast enough to stop the copycats.
Yeah. Now, he can copyright the training manual.
Sure.
But yeah, the actual product, there's nothing unique about it. It's
Right.
a rock in a cardboard box, basically.
Wow.
I'm
Perry-
sorry, but
Perry can hear you.
Perry, You're a wonderful pet. I'm just letting you know you're just a little cog in the wheel, buddy. There's bigger things going on, but we still love you. But probably the biggest reason that Pet Rock died was the novelty had worn off. Gary Dahl commented, quote, "I suppose it died because it got to the point where everyone had heard the joke."
Yeah.
Stuck with excess inventory, Gary Dahl eventually donated thousands of Pet Rocks to the U.S. Marines Toys for Tots program. Not sure how happy I would be about getting a pet rock,
say,
but
that actually kind of sucks.
it's the thought that counts, I guess.
No, a child in need gets a pet rock.
Mm-hmm. It's like Charlie Brown on Halloween.
Oh, God.
Gary Dahl didn't seem too upset about the death of his product. He and his wife had made a ton of money. He had new product ideas on the horizon. And he was finally going to live out one of his dreams, Kristin. He was going to buy and run his own bar.
Oh, no.
Gary Dahl had always wanted to own a bar. He grew up in them. His mom had worked and ran several bars. Plus, a bar was where he had come up with the idea for the pet rock. A bar was like home for him. So in 1976, the Dahls purchased an old beat-up building in Los Gatos, California. They gutted the place, rebuilt it, and opened up a brand new bar, and they called it Carrie Nations.
Oh, that's clever.
Thought you might like that.
Yeah.
Gary Dahl was elated with his new bar. It felt comfy and cozy. Unfortunately, some of his friends weren't there to celebrate with him. In interviews, Gary Dahl noted that after the success of the pet rock, many of his buddies stopped talking to him, including those that joked about the pet rock with him on that fateful night in April of 1975. Gary Dahl said they called him an opportunist, a sellout, a jerk.
Oh.
He recalled, quote, "I think maybe they figured I did something commercial with something they thought was a private conversation. Who knows? I can understand now why people with money tend to gravitate toward each other."
Ew, I don't like that, but...
Yeah, Gary Dahl got a little cocky after the pet rock success. There's
can
no
see
doubt
that.
about it.
I can see that.
I think it was more that and not, well, I have money now and people hate me.
Right.
Still, Gary Dahl was positive. He believed the pet rock was not a one-hit wonder. He had many more ideas up his sleeve. But unfortunately, those products completely bombed.
Let's hear about them. Oh my gosh.
First, there was the sand breeding kit. It came with a male and female test tube full of sand, along with a booklet entitled The Approved Edition of the Sand Breeder's Guide. This time it was a spoof on sex education.
Mm-hmm.
The sand breeding kit promised users could supply filler for hotel ashtrays, grow your own beach, or establish a wasteland in a nearby verdant forest. It sold about 30,000 units.
That's way more than I would have guessed.
I know, but way less than the pet rock.
Right.
His next product was red china dirt.
Okay.
Red china dirt. Authentic dirt dug up from China in a little plastic cube. The box read, "Ownership of red china dirt will make the buyer a resident and landowner of a foreign country, and thereby provide all sorts of diplomatic immunity and tax advantages."
Okay, I can kind of see that.
Kind of see the gag of it?
Yeah, for the right person.
This was
maybe?
also during the Cold War, so it was kind of marketed as like, hey, if enough people buy red china dirt, we'll just own all of China.
Okay.
And that'll show the communists.
Huh. All right, it just got a lot weirder for me, but okay.
In the instructions, it read, if the IRS stops by to chat, simply sit on your red china dirt and say you're out of the country and don't know when you'll be back.
Yeah, I can see this being something kind of like people who sell the toilet paper that has Trump on it or Hillary on it. You know, you buy whatever for the right person.
Absolutely, yeah. So you could see a market for red china dirt, huh?
I mean, a really small one, but sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was another flop.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this idea, Kristin? The licorice stick. It smells like licorice. It looks like licorice, but it's a ballpoint pen.
Huh.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Yeah, it didn't do well either.
What's it supposed to do? Like,
It's a pen.
is it supposed to like trick people? Like make them think
guess.
they've got candy?
I guess. It's just a novelty pen. It's like a silly straw. I don't know.
Okay, I have a question.
It's like a pen. Remember those pens back in the day with the little fuzzies on the end?
Yeah, I remember cute
it's
pens.
It's just a cute pen, I think.
But
It smells like licorice.
did he think that With every one of these ideas, was he like, this is the new pet rock? This is my new multi-million-dollar idea? Or was he like, maybe...
Yeah, I don't know if he was like, this is going to be the next pet rock.
Okay.
I think some of them, yes. I definitely think the sand breeding kit he thought was going to be the next big thing. I think he thought red china dirt was going to be a huge success, but I don't know if he thought the licorice stick was going to
Well, at a certain point, you do become humble, don't you?
Sure. Nothing could match the success of the pet rock. Perhaps it really was a one-hit wonder. It was starting to make Gary Dahl bitter, angry. He started to wish people would just forget about the pet rock and kind of move on. But seemed like no one did. Gary Dahl had to deal with a constant stream of people asking for advice on an invention or wanting him to invest in their own stupid novelty idea, like pet elephant dung.
Okay, all right, fine.
What? What?
The guy who invented pet rocks is like mad that people want to talk about their stupid stuff.
Yeah, he was like, people wouldn't leave him alone.
Okay.
Sometimes he was confronted in his bar, and Gary said he had to be pretty rude to some folks.
Oh, Gary, come on.
Gary.
Stop.
Teen mom, for those wondering.
For those in just the right age range.
If you're between the ages of 35 and 50, you might know the reference.
I think he started to lose me about, it's the weirdest thing. All my friends think I'm a jerk now, and it's because I'm rich. It's not because of anything I did. And I'm not saying that that's total bullshit for sure, but now to hear this thing of like, I had to be kind of a jerk to people who came up to me, the inventor of the pet rock, with their stupid ideas. I just don't know.
Yeah, apparently one guy from Louisiana was like, pet elephant dung. It's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. And Gary was like, just send me like a proposal and I'll let you know. Well, the guy just flew out to California and like personally met with Gary, and it was starting to freak Gary out, basically.
Okay.
How people were kind of like invading his privacy or something.
Sure.
Yeah. Not only that, but he was getting death threats in the mail from people who claimed that they had actually come up with the idea for a pet rock, and they demanded compensation.
Did they threaten to throw rocks at him?
No. Here's something I found interesting.
Mm-hmm.
When I was doing my research, I found a book written by the man who did Clifford the Big Red Dog. Norman Bridwell, I think his name was.
Okay.
And he wrote a book in 1975 called My Pet, the Rock. It's about a 10-year-old boy who takes his rock to show and tell. And he's like, yeah, this is my pet rock. That's what the whole book's about. It's a kid's book.
Uh-huh.
And it came out the year the pet rock came out.
Huh. Is it a coincidence or?
I don't know. I was trying to find out like the exact month that book came out.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, did Gary Dahl see this book at some point, and that's how he came up with the idea? Or perhaps Norman Bridwell saw the pet rock and then quickly wrote a book about it, but
maybe.
I just thought it was interesting.
You know, I also think it's possible that Gary saw that book in passing, didn't think anything of it, but sometimes stuff gets kind of lodged into your mind. And
Yeah. Just thought I'd mention it.
Yeah. Unlike those other podcasts that don't mention it.
I'm sorry.
Pieces of shit.
So as a result of all this attention, Gary Dahl scaled back his public appearances. He said, quote, there are kooks out there. But it wasn't only his professional life suffering. Gary Dahl's personal life was going bad too. He was drinking way too much. It's not a good thing when you own a bar.
Yeah.
And I must say, as someone who has watched every episode of Bar Rescue, starring John Taffer, an earthworm come to life, that is a very common theme in that show. It is somebody who basically wants their own personal bar because they have a drinking problem.
Mm-hmm.
And they open a bar, and yeah, it's like their own little drinking playground. They don't actually want to run a business.
Everyone, I don't know if you've sensed a theme with the TV shows that Norm mentions, but Norm loves when a gigantic, angry man with some expertise comes to a random town and yells at people for their incompetence. And there's something about it. Norm just loves it. I find Bar Rescue to be a disgusting show. I find Kitchen Nightmares to be a disgusting show. Like, I don't want to know how gross these places are.
I do.
And I'm also like, dude, if a place is going that badly, if it's that disgusting, if it's that poorly managed, let it die. Don't come in there and yell at people to get the Clorox wipes out for a couple weekends, and then all of a sudden people start showing up again. This is bad.
Listen, John Taffer comes in with a brilliant plan to turn that bar around. Some people stick to the plan, and it's a huge success. Others do not follow the plan, and it fails, as John Taffer predicts.
Norm, do you want John Taffer to come in and boss you around?
I tell you what, the worst part of that show is when they're like, the bar like drain system is broken, and the smell, I know that smell because I've been in bars where like the drainage system's not working. It's
Describe
like that,
the scent.
It's like this sour scent.
Yeah.
Old stale beer. Old beer. Yeah.
Like liquid that's just been kind of sitting for too long.
Fermenting. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you, Norm.
Anyway, back to our story.
Yes.
Yeah. Gary Dahl was drinking too much. His marriage was falling apart. So something had to change. So Gary Dahl made the hard decision, and he sold his bar, Carrie Nations. He said, quote, "I decided to save my liver and my marriage." Fun fact.
Wow.
Carrie Nations is still open today.
You're kidding me.
Nope, still around in Los Gatos, California.
I mean, the name is really good.
It's a great name, and Gary Dahl spared no expense inside. It is absolutely gorgeous inside.
To this day, it's gorgeous?
Yes, beautiful leaded glass, beautiful woodwork. It's clear he was inspired by the era of Carrie Nation.
Okay, so he didn't just slap a good name on it. He really made it a theme.
he put a ton of money into this place.
I mean, the dude knew advertising and marketing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I looked at pictures inside. And I was like, damn, this is a nice bar.
Okay.
No wonder he felt comfy and cozy in there. It's very nice bar. So if any history hoes are near the Cats, California, check out Carrie Nations. Tell us if it's good or not. And then go in and ask about the pet rock.
Or not. They might be mean to you.
We don't talk about the pet rock in here. Unfortunately for Gary, the hits kept on coming. George Coakley, the man who had invested $10,000 into the pet rock, he sued Gary Dahl for lack of compensation.
I wondered when Gary was buying up all the Mercedes Benzes plus the yacht parking lot, if he was, taking care of that graphic designer and his buddy who loaned him all that money.
Not sure about the graphic designer, but George Coakley did sue Gary Dahl for lack of compensation. Coakley's business partner said, quote, "Gary got rich quick, and then he wanted more than he deserved." And a judge agreed. Gary Dahl was ordered to write a 6-figure check to George Coakley. Gary Dahl was pretty pissed about it.
Why? Well, okay.
He later recalled, quote, "The same people who were so enthusiastic about helping me get this thing off the ground got greedy. It was not pleasant, and it didn't leave it with a happy ending. That's the reality of the whole thing. This wonderful story, there is a dark side to it, too."
Dude, you had an idea for a pet rock. You had no money, and someone gave you 10 grand. 10 grand!
Adjusted for inflation, $60,000.
Yes.
Very expensive.
It's shocking that anyone was willing to do that. And to not show the least bit of gratitude, that's wild.
Yeah, and, earlier I said that, I don't know what their arrangement was. I don't know if Gary Dahl was, promising him certain percentage of the company. I don't know if this was a loan and he had to pay it back. I have no idea. But
well, if a judge ultimately was like, yeah, you owe this man a lot of money.
My guess is he promised him a percentage of the profits and he didn't pay that actual percentage.
Probably, yeah.
I am very smart. After this series of unfortunate events, the Dahls decided to downsize. They sold several of their properties, including that yacht parking lot, as you like to call it. And then Gary Dahl quietly exited the novelty business, and he started his own successful marketing agency. Over the decades, the pet rock was simply just another fad, something that achieved short-lived popularity and then faded into obscurity. It had gone the way of the hula hoop and the yo-yo. People looked back and thought, hey, remember when we were all buying pet rocks? That was pretty stupid. Sometimes it popped up in movies or TV shows, just like as a little joke or throwback. And the longer time went on, the more Gary Dahl grew to resent his creation. In the 90s, a reporter called Gary Dahl to talk about his career, including the pet rock. Dahl angrily said, I don't want to talk about it.
Norman.
But seriously, he did not want to talk about it. In his interview, he stated, if people would just forget I did the pet rock, I'd be happy.
I doubt it, dude.
You doubt it?
Yeah.
You think he's got other problems?
I do think so, yeah.
During that interview, he told the reporter, I don't help inventors. I'd like you to put that in your article. Tell them not to call me. Have you dealt with someone like this, Kristin?
I had this thought earlier, and I thought, no, I'm not going to share it because it's rude, and who knows if I'm right. Well, still, who knows if I'm right, and this is still kind of rude, but now I feel it more strongly. I got to say, I really don't believe that this man was just inundated by people coming to him for advice with their inventions.
I bet they were.
Really? Why?
I'm thinking about the type of person who sees the pet rock and thinks it's like a get-rich-quick scheme and reaches out to Gary Dahl to try to come up with something new.
Okay.
I think he definitely was bombarded with, as he called them, kooks.
Okay.
I think he was.
Now that you say it that way, yeah, maybe you're right. I think I'm just getting the vibe that maybe he's trying to make himself seem like he's a little more in demand and a little more important than he actually is. Like, I'm kind of wondering if maybe he gets a couple calls a month, but then when he talks to this reporter, he's like, get him to stop calling. Oh, hang on the other line, I've got someone calling right now. This is always happening to me.
My pager's going off. Yeah, well, it's interesting. When the pet rock first came out, he did all these interviews, and he was like, yeah, I got people all over the world calling me, with some new ideas. And he seemed genuinely excited.
Okay.
And it's like his tone completely shifted.
Yeah.
By the 90s, he's like when this reporter called him,
Yeah.
he was like, how did you get my phone number? I think he was like genuinely sick of it. That's the vibe I got.
I wonder if it was more like he was riding high. He thought it would last much longer than it did, possibly forever. And then by the 90s, it's clear that it's all a joke. And if they're writing about you, it's kind of like, whatever happened to the guy who sold pet rocks?
Yeah. He's like a punchline now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And I can see kind of knowing like that's going to be the angle and I don't want any part of it. And actually, I'm very highly in demand, so please leave me alone.
He did talk about his marketing agency and how he had many regional accounts.
Good for him.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Gary Dahl was done talking about the pet rock. He lived the remainder of his life out of the public eye. Well, mostly. He still really enjoyed writing. And so every now and then his name would come up. In 2000, Gary Dahl won the Bulwer-Lytton Fiction Contest. Have you ever heard of this contest?
I don't think so.
If you're not familiar, it's a contest where people compete to write the worst opening sentence for a novel.
Oh my God.
Now, I may not know the worst opening sentence, but I think we can all agree on the best opening sentence, Kristin. What do I always tell you when you're writing should be the opening sentence of your novel?
Everyone, literally, anytime I write anything, or anytime Norm's like, what are you reading? I'm like, oh, I'm critiquing this for a friend. Does it start with, it was a dark and stormy night?
It was a dark and stormy night.
That's free writing advice to anyone listening.
Mm-hmm. And I can't take credit. That was Snoopy's opening line for his novel. Took him forever to write the second sentence.
I can relate.
Do you know what the second sentence was that Snoopy came up with?
No, Norm, I don't.
So, like, for a long time, it was a dark and stormy night.
Yeah.
And then he finally wrote the second sentence. Suddenly, a shot rang out. That's pretty good, huh?
Yeah, he got me hooked. I want to know more. I'm ready for the third sentence.
You were cracking up. We were watching And Just Like That.
Oh my gosh.
The new Sex and the City show.
We hate watch And Just Like That.
So Carrie is writing a new novel, a historical novel, and she gives the first chapter to her hot, sexy neighbor who is also a writer.
Yeah, who's a very established writer.
Established writer. And so she gives it to him for a critique. He gives it back. She's like, oh my God, what do you think? He goes, oh my God, I absolutely loved it. That first line was amazing. What was it? The woman wondered what she had gotten herself into.
Yeah, something like that. And I was just like, first of all, there's nothing wrong with that sentence, but this man is supposedly this very established, sought-after author, and he says that to her. Nothing says, I'm trying to bang you. Like, that sentence right there, I'm blown away by it.
This is the greatest piece of writing I have ever read. Now let's make out. And they haven't made out yet. I'm waiting.
It's going to happen.
It's got to.
Everyone, that show is so bad, but the only interesting character is Seema. That's her name, right?
Yeah. Seema's one of the new characters that wasn't in the original series.
Yes. I only care about her. Get rid of the rest of them. Just give me Seema with her business troubles and banging the weird gardener. That's all I want.
He is a weird gardener.
Yeah.
Seema's business cat.
I like her.
So yeah, Gary Dahl won the contest in 2000. Would you like to hear his submission?
Yes. Oh my God.
You're going to be rolling your eyes at this one.
Okay, so it's the worst.
The worst opening sentence for a novel.
Okay, let's hear it.
The heather-encrusted headlands, veiled in fog as thick as smoke in a crowded pub, hunched precariously over the moors, their rocky elbows slipping off Land's End, their bulbous, craggy noses thrust into the thick foam of the North Sea like bearded old men falling asleep in their pints.
He is good. He is good. That sucks so bad. It's
really bad.
But it's so overwritten.
Yes.
And like every word is trying so hard and holding so much weight that by the time you get to the end of that sentence, you have no idea what the fuck you just read. He did a great job. Expertly done, terrible sentence.
Yes. In 2006, the Dahls retired and moved to Jacksonville, Oregon. A year later, Gary took all of his advertising knowledge and wisdom that he had learned over the years, and he wrote a book, Advertising for Dummies. In 2015, Gary Dahl passed away. He was 78 years old. Meanwhile, the pet rock lives on. In 2022, a toy company called Super Impulse bought the rights to the pet rock.
Perfect name for the company that buys a pet rock.
Exactly. And they revived the brand. So, yeah, you can get your very own official pet rock on Amazon.
Good of you to support a small local business, Norm.
Yep.
Little business called Amazon.
Well, I'm supporting Super Impulse, but
okay, sure.
Amazon's just a marketplace, where entrepreneurs can put their products. I've seen a lot of like Amazon propaganda lately, like commercials.
Have you really?
Yeah, I saw one where it was like, as an Amazon worker, you can make $22 an hour and take out your girlfriend on that wonderful date. And it was like this blue collar worker guy like showing up at his girlfriend's house, and they like go out to eat.
And he says, "Don't worry, they give me pee breaks. Life is really good." Mm-hmm. Should I tell my Amazon story?
He had the piss bottle in his pocket.
Okay.
Oh shit! Yes. Should you?
Everyone
Talk about it, because
this is a crazy story. Holy shit!
I hope you're sitting down.
I hope you're not eating cottage cheese.
If you have your pet rock, start petting it. You're going to need some therapy after this story.
Okay. Several months ago, my darling mother, Sheree, got me a pair of pants off Amazon. My struggle with pants, I can never find pants that are long enough, so I always have to buy tall sizes. I can never just I'm nothing like you hosts who can just go to a store and pick up a pair and go out the door.
These adorable ladies at 5'2".
God, if you're 5'2", you're adorable. I'm sorry, don't argue with me. So, story of my life, can never find pants that are long enough. My mom, did a bunch of research, found these pants on Amazon that are yoga pants that are definitely long enough, blah, 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 blah. Great, great, great. What a wonderful gift. She gets me these pants. They look really cute. Okay.
Nice emerald color.
Yeah. I took them home, tried them on. And again, in my mind, the only thing I'm thinking about is, are these pants long enough? I'm not thinking about anything else. So it's just, okay, put them on. I did notice that our dog Kit was really sniffing me a lot in these pants.
Very curious.
I didn't think a ton of that, whatever. I looked in the mirror. They're long enough. They looked good. Okay. Norm comes in. He's like, oh, yeah, those are nice.
Mm-hmm.
I go to pull these pants off because, again, I'm just trying them on. I pulled them down. Holy mother of pearl. These pants had been worn before, clearly returned. They'd seen some things, okay? There was a generous splotch in the crotch of these things.
Someone sneezed their jeans.
Someone dishonorably discharged into these yoga pants. And so, I've got them down to my knees and I was like, oh my God. And you looked.
Yeah.
You looked over and you said, my husband, by the way, known this man for a million years. Norm goes, oh, did you do that? I'd been wearing them for 2 minutes and I was wearing underwear. And my husband asks me, oh, did you do that? In 2 minutes through underwear? Take me to a hospital if that's happening.
Maybe you looked over at me and you were really turned on.
Oh, that's enough.
I'm about to bust.
Here's the thing, folks. I know we shouldn't be shopping on Amazon, but I am kind of it's convenient. That really did it for me. I think if we want
you're boycotting.
I think if we want the world to stop buying so much stuff on Amazon, we all just need to get some yoga pants that have been not so gently used. Yeah.
Yeah, that was nasty.
It was horrifying.
Mm-hmm. Your poor mom was devastated.
My mom.
She was traumatized.
Apologized as if she'd done the deed herself.
She did.
Okay. I mean, she was absolutely horrified. And I said, Mom, I'll never forgive you. Mm-hmm.
She said, I'm sorry. Brendan Fraser was on TV.
Stop.
Oh, Kristin.
Norm, that's a good story.
It's a great story. I've been wanting you to share it on your Instagram at Kristin Pitts Caruso.
Oh, I was talking about your pet rock story.
Oh, well, I'm not done yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So yeah, 2022, Super Impulse buys the rights to the pet rock and revives the brand. And then that same year, the pet rock had kind of a small comeback of sorts, thanks to two moments in pop culture. So the first was that hit Oscar-winning film, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Mm-hmm.
Because in one scene, two of the characters transform into rocks with googly eyes, and they have a heartfelt conversation. So the film studio, A24, released an officially licensed pet rock as a tie-in to the movie. And those pet rocks had googly eyes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, this is what's so creepy is I never would have thought that, but clearly that got into my head.
Absolutely. Mandela effect. Then on Sesame Street, Elmo had a big feud with his pet rock named Rocco. And I guess the argument they had went viral online. People thought it was hilarious.
Okay.
So pet rocks were once again in the news. The novelty was back. For a little bit anyway. Till people once again realized, oh, it's just a rock.
Well, no one forgets it's just a rock. It's just that it's a fad. We can't stay fascinated by pet rocks forever. I'm sorry, Perry.
You'll always be special to me.
Okay.
Despite what your mother says.
For about 4 months or so.
Over the years, fads have come and gone. Dances like the Macarena. Toys like the fidget spinner. Remember the fidget spinner?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
The big fad right now is Labubu dolls.
What?
Labubu dolls. They're cute little plush collectible monsters. Have you seen these things?
I'm so out of the loop. Let me Google. Hang on.
They kind of look like gremlins. People are going absolutely apeshit for these things.
God, this is, okay. Let me tell you what little Kristin would have thought. Little Kristin would have had these in her room. Then the lights go off. You're supposed to fall asleep. And I'd be convinced this thing was going to come alive and attack me.
Absolutely.
Terrifying.
Yep. Don't feed it after midnight. I was thinking of fads, and I feel like my grandma and my mom were in on the fad for like old people of gnomes, like collectible gnomes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. My grandma had like a 4th of July gnome, a Christmas gnome, a Halloween gnome, and they all looked the same. They just had like different colored hats and stuff.
Norm, let me explain something to you. There's a certain type of Midwestern woman,
Mm-hmm.
and I really do think it's really popular in the Midwest. And it's a lady who wants you to know that she knows what holiday it is. And she's got a flag in her garden to prove it. There's got to be something in the garden to remind you spring has sprung.
Yeah, but these gnomes are plush dolls. And they sat
what?
inside. Yeah, they're just plush gnomes. They sat on top of my grandma's like cabinet.
Okay, well, I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, I don't know. It's in right now.
Hideous.
It's in right now.
Sorry to anyone who enjoys them.
What did you say about my gnome collection? How could you? I am unsubscribing.
That's fair.
That's very fair. We get it. Kristin, in my eyes, nothing will top the greatest fad of the 20th century, the pet rock. There's a reason why when you look up the word fad on Wikipedia, an image of a pet rock is the first thing you see. And that's the story of the pet rock.
Well done, Norm. That was really interesting.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah. Thank you to our subreddit for that wonderful idea.
Yes. A shout out again to Beezy B Has Cats. Thank you very much for that suggestion. That was a lot of fun to research.
I bet. Yeah. Okay, folks, it's about to get awkward.
Oh, you going to take your top off?
That would not be awkward. That would be a party. Thank you very much.
Very sexy.
No, I do have something to say. And just full disclosure, I wrote it in like a little script format here just because,
Ooh.
well, it's important. I want to get it right. And so I've written it out. I don't know how strictly I'm going to stick to this. And also, I do have to apologize because we've been doing an old-timey podcast for like a year and a half now.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a lot of people who have signed up on Patreon for an old-timey podcast.
That's right. We call them Fresh Hose.
We call them Fresh Hose. And you folks have maybe never listened to my old podcast, Let's Go to Court. So if that applies to you, then this whole talk is going to seem very weird and have zero relevance to you. So I apologize to the Fresh Hose.
Let's just say this is a very special episode of an old-timey podcast. It's like those 90s sitcoms when, like, the kid tried a cigarette or
sure, we want to talk to you guys
cheated
about
on the test. Or
caffeine pills.
Caffeine pills, classic, Saved by the Bell. So what do you got, Kristin?
Okay. I have something to say. Oh, this is so awkward.
I have something to say to all the men listening to this episode.
No, I have something to say. And full disclosure, I really debated saying anything here on this bonus episode just because we've worked so hard to make an old-timey podcast its own thing, and it is its own thing. But we also know that a lot of you who support us here on Patreon started as Let's Go to Court fans, and you did us the massive favor of sticking with us as we created this new thing and got it off the ground. And I did want to address it here in this bonus episode because I do think some of you might be interested in this. So basically, ever since Let's Go to Court ended, I've continued to get questions about my relationship with my former co-host, namely, are you two still friends? And I've really struggled with whether to answer that question at all, If so, what to say? So basically, until last week, my tactic has been when I see that question online, I just pretend I didn't see it, which is weird. And I feel like doesn't feel authentic to who I am, and also just feels weird to listeners of this show.
Sure.
So I did go ahead and finally answer that question. I answered it on one of the old Let's Go to Court subreddits because someone had asked the question again. And so I just thought, you know what?
Let's put this to bed.
Yeah, a year and a half later, it's time to put this to bed. I do also want to say, I'm going to read you my response now, but I do want to say I totally understand why people would ask that question. It was uncomfortable to get that question, and I appreciate so much so many of you who were probably curious as hell. I know I would have been, but didn't ask me that on this platform where I come every day for work, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of the folks on Patreon and specifically in our Discord, it felt like this is where it gets weird because we all talk about parasocial relationships, but they go both ways. And I know a lot of people maybe haven't thought that perhaps that relationship ended badly, but I also think that a few of you did sense that and kind of gave me the space. And you know, if you had questions or theories about it, you took it to other platforms where I didn't have to be for work every day. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah, people were very respectful. Even like during trivia.
Yeah.
Like in the live chats, like.
Yeah, and I appreciate that so much. It's funny you mentioned trivia, the live chats. I think I'll come back to that in a bit, but I feel like I've teased something and I should actually get to it, so hang on here. So like I said, I did address this question on Reddit, and I linked to it in the Discord, but I understand that not everybody does Discord here, so I just wanted to share it here in case it's of interest to you. So here's what I wrote. I said, "Hi, everyone. I'll go ahead and address this. We are not still friends. For the record, I'm still so proud of the show, proud of what it meant and means to so many of you, and proud to have been half of it. The sad truth, though, is that it did end badly. For what it's worth, I don't blame anybody for being curious about what went down. I'm nosy. I would want to know, too. I'm also not one for sugarcoating, so instead I'll go for a little cheese. The end of LGTC was tough, but it taught me a lot of lessons that I don't think I would have learned otherwise. In that sense, I'm grateful for that experience, grateful to my former friend, and grateful to all of you. Thank you to everyone who loves and loved LGTC, and thank you to everyone who is loving an old-timey podcast. The past year and a half has been a weird, wild journey, and I'm glad to be where I'm at right now." Ugh. Thanks, Noor.
Yeah, it's good. It was a good statement.
Thanks.
The past year and a half has been tough for you
It has.
to hold that back. So I think it felt good to finally answer that question.
I was nervous as hell. You were with me when I posted that comment, and like the second I did, I just cried.
Mm-hmm.
But it does feel really good to have said it, to just have it out there, because it's funny. It's like, it's not like it's a secret to me, but I think I was really worried about how people would react. And I worried that, you know, that show meant a lot to so many people. It meant a lot to me. And I thought, what if I tell people this and I'm like ruining this thing that people really enjoyed?
Well, because like the friendship was like a core part of that show.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I have been really touched by the response. Like, people have been very understanding and very kind about it, which, you know, it's one of those things I kind of wish I'd done it sooner now, because I'd made it more scary in my head than it needed to be.
Yeah, well, and that happens.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Anxiety does that to you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I do want to clarify. I think if I could go back in time when I made that comment, I want to clarify that the friendship did not end because someone quit a job. I would never end a friendship because someone quit a job, even if the job was important to me. So I do want to clear that up. You know, things had been tough for a while. and they got tougher at the very end. But and I gotta say, it was really hard. And if you had come to me at that time and said, hey, with some time and perspective, you're actually going to truly believe that everything turned out for the best, I would have punched you in the butt for saying that. But I mean,
I would have. I can't imagine saying that to you. At the time. I would have run out of the house.
Oh yeah, you would have. It's all for the best, and then
don't worry, everything will be fine. And then I just run out.
I mean, it is true though. It's true that sitting here today, I feel so lucky for how things turned out. And man, it's been a wild ride, but I really am grateful for it. I feel like you and I are doing what we were meant to be doing.
Telling people about the pet rock.
This was our calling. And me telling gross stories about pants. Uh-huh. I do want to also say, you know, talking about having gratitude for my former co-host, I'm not just saying that to be nice. I really mean that. I think back to my life when I started Let's Go to Court. You know, I came up with that idea. I asked her to join me, and she did. And now I'm here. And I can't be anything but grateful for that. It's funny. It's one of those things I would like to think that maybe I would have found podcasting success some other way, somehow, but I have no way of knowing that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you do have to be grateful.
It was a good ass show.
Thank you.
Let's Go to Court was a good ass show.
I think that's
still is.
I think that's the other thing is that I'm proud of that show.
Yeah. You should be.
I am.
That's what we like to hear.
But things have been awkward. And I think that's why, you know, I realize that I risk upsetting some folks by sharing this in this episode. And I'm sorry for that. You would think that years of therapy would have taught me that I'm not responsible for other people's feelings. But if this bums you out, I really am sorry.
Have you learned nothing?
Basically. For example, a couple weeks ago, we had trivia, our monthly trivia. It's always so fun. And at the very end, we were trying to figure out, what topic do we want to do next month? And someone commented, you should do Let's Go to Court and Old Timey Podcast Trivia. Yeah. And you and I ignored it. And then, of course, you know, the chat was kind of going fast. So I'm sure they just thought, they didn't see my suggestion. So they suggested it again and we ignored it again. And I was just thinking, this isn't me to keep quiet about this. Like, I don't need to say anything bad about anybody. I don't need any of that. But, you know, I think I just want the community to know.
Yeah.
Because, again, if I had been a Let's Go to Court listener, I would have a tinfoil hat on. I'd be posting all my theories everywhere. I would want to know. I would want to know.
Yeah. Well, I think for a long time it felt like a cloud hanging over your head.
Yes.
Or like a dark specter following you.
It really did.
Yeah. And like, that shit sucks.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I remember, you know, when we first started an Old Timey podcast, like, I feel like that's when the questions were kind of at their peak. And it was also when things were hardest for me. And I remember I kept saying, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do because I said, if we ever get this podcast as successful as I hope it will be, and we're able to do live shows, it's going to be very natural for someone to come up to me at like a meet and greet or something and be like, hey, how's so-and-so, you know, or just ask a basic question. And what's my game plan then? Am I going to mean mug somebody because they couldn't read my mind? You know, like, and then you were very rude because you were like, Kristin, it's going to take a very long time for us to get to that point.
Sorry, I had to keep it real with you.
You did have to keep it real. But yeah, it feels like a relief to have talked about this. And I don't know, it's kind of wild to hear from so many other people who have been through something similar. I think going through it myself, it felt like I was the only one who this had ever happened to. Mm-hmm. Turns out, no.
No, I read a few comments where people said that a friendship ending is worse than a divorce.
Yeah.
It's harder.
Honestly, yeah. So I've never been divorced, and I hope to never be divorced. But of course, if Norm runs out in his Arizona jeans that are so tight, it's,
better watch out.
It's going to happen. Yeah, I think that's one of the funny things is, a friendship ending, even when it needs to end, even when it ending is for the best, somehow it still sucks. Riddle me that, big boy.
Don't call me big boy.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's tough.
So now that that is out of the way, it occurred to me when I was kind of writing this out that I think that I can finally say thank you to people in a more real way, because that was so tough. And when we bought the Patreon, I genuinely did not know how many people would stick around. And for the record, like, I don't blame anybody who was like, well, I signed up for this show and now the show's over and history's not my thing. This new thing's not my thing,
Yeah.
But I am so grateful to anyone who either just gave us a chance, but especially to those of you who stuck with us.
Yeah, we're both grateful.
But you helped me more than you know. And again, I totally understand why people had questions and theories and all that, but it still amazes me how few of those came to me in our Discord or through Patreon. It just felt like, and again, this could be in my head, it could be some weird parasocial thing that's not actually happening, but it felt like people knew I needed some space to get through a tough time and create something new. And I'm just really grateful for that.
Yeah.
Also.
What else you got for us?
Okay. So, like I said, I shared that response, got a lot of positive feedback on it, and I appreciate it. I did see some jokes from you assholes who were like, oh, this is proof that you should never start a true crime podcast with your friend, blah, blah, blah. I know people are kidding, but also kind of not, because, there have been a few podcast blow-ups over the years.
Yeah, this is not an original idea or story.
It's not an original problem. But I do want to say something about that, because I know that starting some new creative endeavor, it's so easy to get discouraged, and the easiest thing is to just not do it at all. And the idea of someone looking at this experience and thinking, I just shouldn't do it. Oh, I hate that. Because, of course, there are big risks when you start a business with a friend, particularly when that's a public-facing business.
Yeah.
And when it gets bad, it's easy to only focus on the risks and the negativity, but there are rewards to it too. And I got both. The highs were high, the lows were low, and it was worth it. I gained more than I lost. And I think that I learned a lot of lessons through that time in my life. Really hard lessons, which it's funny. I kind of think life tries to teach you things in subtle ways at first. And then if you don't get it, you get the really hard lesson. And hopefully the sunny side of that is that hard lessons really stick with you. And
they are the hardest. They suck the most, but man, you don't forget them.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I just want to say that it's way more good than bad. I'm really grateful to all of you, and I'm grateful to you, Norm.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, I'm really happy with how things shook out, and I hope this doesn't bum anybody out too bad. But I do feel good, says the woman with tears in her eyes.
Kristin, you got to speak your truth.
Yeah.
We understand.
Yeah.
And we are proud of you.
Oh, you know what, everybody? I'm looking over this little cute script I wrote for that talk, which I didn't really look at much at all. But I did end it with, thank you all for listening, and thank you for continuing to listen. That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, stick to the script, Kristin.
This is all completely new information to Norm. He had no idea any of this was happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'm a little behind, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, Kristin came to me. He's like, hey, you want to start a podcast? I was like, I guess. I mean, what happened to your old one? Well, Kristin,
Yes.
are you ready for this month's bonus questione?
Yes, I am.
Okay. As you know, our topic today was the pet rock,
Huh?
a fad from the 70s.
Yes.
So I asked the history hosts, in honor of this month's topic, we are asking, what is a fad or trend that you really got into? The Macarena? Beanie Babies? Tell us everything. So, without further ado, let's read some of your answers. Kristin, would you like to start?
Oh my gosh. Okay. You told me before we started recording that you were going to ask this question in the Discord. And
Yeah.
I immediately was like, oh gosh, I've got to think of something for me because like I feel like we always want to share ours too. And the thing I thought of, it's the second thing that came up in here. And I didn't really think that this would come up. Antique Gardening Tool says, oh no, the 2008 hair poof.
The hair poof?
I thought of that too. Yeah.
Now, what is the hair poof?
You know, it's that thing where you take the clip and you have that poof in the front. Don't you remember?
It looks like a little umbrella.
Umbrella?
Like the hair poof. Kind of, it doesn't touch your forehead. It kind of.
Right. Well, no, it kind of swoops up and then you take two bobby pins and kind of.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. I know what you're talking about.
Not quite Snooky, but you know,
Hang on, I'm going to look up hair
toned
poof.
down Snooky.
Hair poof 2008. Oh, God. Yep. Hillary Duff, Lindsay Lohan.
All the greats did it.
The Olsen twins.
Uh-huh.
Lauren Conrad. Yeah, Snooki had a very pronounced hair poof.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, that is definitely a fad that is no longer around. Renee has an interesting answer.
Okay.
She says, that old decrepit podcast, Let's Go to Court.
soon!
Are you calling Let's Go to Court a fad? Hey, 6 years is a good run for a podcast.
It is. It is. Oh, hell yeah. Chels says gauchos. I had so many pairs of gauchos.
What are gauchos?
Oh, my God, Norm. Especially the capri length ones. I cannot look back at old pictures without cringing. Okay.
What the hell is a gaucho?
Norm,
the pants?
Yeah.
Oh, with the big openings.
Yeah, they had very
yeah.
wide legs. They were mysteriously tight in the crotch. I mean, so you would have all the room in the world for your thighs. And also, like, it was usually an elastic waistband, so they didn't hug you too snug there either.
Yeah.
But, man, you would often see some camel toe with those gauchos.
God, you look like an old-timey marksman, those pants. Hiding in the brush, waiting to take the shot. Mexican Pig Butter says, feathers in the hair. Oh, that was a thing, huh?
Okay, Cum Kardashian responded, I have feathers in my hair to see Kesha. She's like my idol.
What is that from?
Okay, and then Cum said, in parentheses, this is a reference. I did not need to be told, but you, who just made a Teen Mom reference earlier in this show, Gary.
Was that on Teen Mom?
Janelle said that to her attorney. I mean, if memory serves-
attorney?
Yeah, remember, like, it was like, I think she was going to have to, like, serve time or something. Like, she was facing some serious consequences.
But she said, I can't go to court because I'm meeting Kesha.
It was maybe more important than just a court date. I can't remember what it was exactly.
We are
but
taking your child away from you.
I will tell you something. The attorney was not impressed by her need to go to a Kesha concert. And she had feathers in her hair for the Kesha concert.
Janelle was the one who was dating Kifa.
Yeah.
And he's smoking the reefa.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course.
Gotcha. I remember her because I think they lived in North Carolina. And I was like, oh, that's where I'm from. I felt a connection. Airtight Crisis Fart says, does dieting culture count? To be fair, that was mostly my mom's doing. Having Melba toast and Snackwell's cookies on the regular.
Oh,
Oh, the little devil's food cakes.
those things.
Yeah, dieting fads and trends.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a thing, sure.
That's some toxic stuff, but I did love those cookies.
I remember I would say, I'm running to the grocery store, do you want me to get you anything? And sometimes you would have me get those little devil Snackwell cookies.
It was one of those things, we had them growing up. I didn't know they were like a toxic diet thing. I just knew they were cookies.
You just liked them.
And so, I did enjoy them. Okay, someone finally said the thing that I have been thinking.
What?
So Shut Up About It said Tamagotchi.
Oh!
I loved those for like a minute. Yeah.
I had like a bootleg knockoff version. There were so many.
Yeah.
Because like you couldn't buy Tamagotchis. They were sold out all the time. I found one in like a antique mall. Someone was selling like knockoff versions. It was like a T-Rex, baby T-Rex game or something.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it was great. Yeah, loved the Tamagotchis. Even my bootleg Tamagotchi. Some people are saying Pokemon. I don't know if I would consider Pokemon a fad.
That's because you're such a nerd.
Well, hang on. Let me get the rim shot in there first, because I know you're joking.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it was a fad when it first came out, but like Pokemon's still very popular today. I don't know. I consider a fad only lasting for so long.
Okay. You want to actually these people?
I feel like I got to actually some of these answers.
How do you feel about the people who are mentioning Beanie Babies?
Beanie Babies was a fad.
Well, okay, we can agree to that. All right.
That was a fad.
All right. But
Yes.
you people bringing up Pokemon,
I don't.
you have been warned.
Yeah, I don't know, folks. Another person said Animal Crossing. Yeah.
Wow. Everybody, you didn't know that Norm was going to ask you a question and then critique the shit out of your answers.
Cheeky Caps says, I rocked a bump it for far too long.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Little volume in the hair, for sure.
Now, when we did a watch party last year and we watched the Bump It infomercial, that was wild.
You were pretty impressed, weren't you?
Very turned on. I want you to wear the Bump It and only the Bump It. Oh, True Crime and Dog says, I am deep in the throes of Labubu's right now.
Oh, my gosh.
I don't want to admit how many deep I am. I told you, it's huge right now.
Okay.
She also mentions True Crime.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Collect them all.
Gourmet Cat Food says, Fallout Boy, 100,000%. Fully black hair, insane eyeliner, weird black cargo pants, learning every song and trying to start my own band with my friends.
Hell yeah.
My mom would only allow me to wear a certain amount of black clothes, so I felt so caged.
She didn't understand you.
Stop holding me back, Mom.
Frozen like a grape. Lisa Frank. In the late 80s and early 90s, if you
shit.
didn't have Lisa Frank, what were you even doing at school? All my folders, notebooks, and pencils had to be Lisa Frank. Walking into whatever store for school supplies was exciting because Lisa Frank.
Lisa Frank was cool as shit.
It was the best.
Yeah.
I had all of it in second grade.
I loved Lisa Frank, but I was too embarrassed to get it because I thought all my friends would make fun of me.
Yeah, the gender norms were really confining.
Yeah, so I got a, they kind of had like a boys version. And the boys version of Lisa Frank was basically an intense, angry animal playing a sport.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
So mine was like a panther swiping at a soccer ball.
Sure. You often see that in the wild, and it's just terrifying.
It is.
But yeah, it was more like the color scheme also.
Yeah, mine was like, it was like tactical gear. It was black and it had the fold out with the Velcro.
Well, you were a really tough little boy, weren't you, Norm?
I peed my pants.
Oh, today I forgot. Says plastic bubble furniture.
What?
I had a blow-up couch in my room.
Plastic bubble furniture?
Yes. It was very cool, Norm.
I gotta Google this now.
Mm-hmm.
Googling everything today.
When it would kind of deflate a little and you sat in it, you really went wild.
Oh, yeah. These things always deflated.
Of course, yeah. They, believe it or not, were not very high-quality pieces of furniture.
Damn. Imagine walking into a living room and it's all plastic bubble furniture. Yes, we just redecorated the house.
Yes. Please take off your studded belt. My God.
Tell it to the Fallout Boy person in the Discord. Don't wear your studded belt.
Caged in even further.
Here's another person. All Panic No Disco says, I fell hard into the alternative emo scene in the 2000s. Me too. I was pretty into it.
You didn't dress for it though, right? Because I feel like that's part of it.
No. So some people went all out with the eyeliner
Yeah.
and the crazy hair and stuff. Like, I was just into it in like, I wore a sweat wristband.
Sure.
That was like a thing.
Sure.
I had the band t-shirt
Yeah.
with jeans.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like a minimalist emo kid.
You flirted with emo.
I did. A lot of Thursday. That was the band I rocked to the most.
Vandalay Industries says, I had a million silly bands and also those rubber Live Strong bracelets, as many as my arm could fit.
Oh, yeah. The Live Strong bracelet.
Yeah.
Yep. Did you have one?
I didn't. I felt like everyone had one and I didn't. And then, he was, caught. And then I was like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think I got one from like a pair of shoes I bought. I think it like came with it.
It did seem like if you were breathing, you somehow
Acquired
had
one.
one. Yeah.
What about the WWJD bracelets? What would Jesus do bracelets? Do you remember those?
I do remember those.
I had one of those.
You're not religious.
I know, which is very strange. But
Did you wear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was like a fad.
Okay.
Everyone was wearing them.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Small town, North Carolina.
Sure.
Yep. Absolutely. Everyone wore those things.
You were always asking, what would Mr. Jesus do?
Actually, mine stood for what would JCPenney do?
Okay.
Right?
Buy up a whole bunch of land in Florida.
That's right. That's right.
Uh-oh, Norm, this question has created some tension.
Uh-oh, let's hear about it.
The bat says, I asked my brother to answer for me, and he said tattoos. So now we're having a heated discussion and definitely not an argument about that being a stupid answer.
Tattoos.
It depends on what the tattoo is.
Depends on the tattoo, for sure. I feel, tattoos have always been a thing.
Mm-hmm.
They are way more normal now than they were 50 years ago, I'd say.
I mean, yeah, but the tattoo trends.
Right. So like a tribal tattoo was a fad for a while. Or like the barbed wire tattoo.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I've told this story on the podcast before, but the barbed wire tattoo. Okay, if you're a certain age, you know that for a while there, a lot of people got barbed wire around their arms. It was just a thing people did.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a trend.
When my grandfather was in an assisted living facility, my grandmother became very alarmed by the number of people working there who had tattoos because, people with tattoos. And she started talking to one of her friends, I think Vivian or somebody, and they started discussing these scandalous tattoos. And Vivian, who I'm sure had some insider knowledge, let my grandmother know that if someone has a barbed wire tattoo, it's because they have done serious prison time.
Vivian knew all the hot takes.
And let me tell you, I tried to explain to my grandmother that it had been a trend for a while.
Right.
That was not the answer she was looking for.
No.
No.
Absolutely not. Your grandmother was pretty horrified when she saw that I had a tattoo.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and this was before I had my arm sleeve.
Uh-huh.
I just had I have one on this arm too.
Right.
As I was getting this sleeve, whenever we went to your grandma's, I always wore a long sleeve shirt because I wanted to protect her.
I think you were trying to protect yourself. That judgment was coming in hot.
Two things can be true.
Uh-huh, that's right.
Few answers of Furby in here. Yeah, Furby was a big fad for a while.
They were creepy.
Yeah, have you ever seen that video of the Furby melting? And it's talking and it starts melting and then the voice is like a demon.
I mean, Furbies were creepy enough on their own. You didn't have to melt it. That's pretty wild.
I never had a Furby.
Neither did I.
Tiffonized has an interesting answer. Not sure if this counts, but I always go see the Wienermobile when it's in town. I have the app that shows where they all are and sends me notifications when one is coming around. Everyone associates me with it. I also have a Wienermobile toy that looks like a Beanie Baby. Tiffonized, we love that for you.
Wait, you're not going to critique Tiffonized and say that's not a fad?
It's her own personal fad. She's into Wienermobiles right now. I do enjoy seeing the Wienermobile drive by.
I think we're seeing some bias. It's like if Norm's super into it, then it's okay.
Now, I was not aware there was an app tracking the Wienermobiles. I'm going to have to look into this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, stalking's become a real problem.
We have to ban this app. The Wienermobile drivers are in danger.
Tiffinized is terrorizing these Wienermobiles.
Kristin, you want to read one more?
Sure.
We have so many answers. This was a great question, if I do say so myself.
It truly is.
Oh, Head Pig Greaser says Hard Rock Cafe t-shirts.
Oh.
We've talked about this on an
Yes.
old-timey podcast.
Yes.
In the 90s, a freaking Hard Rock Cafe t-shirt was very cool.
Yeah. Did you even go anywhere if you didn't come back with the Hard Rock
Exactly.
Cafe t-shirt?
And I've
No,
told
you
the
did not.
story when we were in London. One day on our schedule was we're going to the Hard Rock Cafe. My mom insisted we have to go to the Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah, for a certain generation, it was very important to go to the Hard Rock Cafe and have an expensive and not that great meal.
Yeah.
Don't question it. Oh, okay. I found the one to end them all.
Oh, yeah? What's that?
Hop to the E says toe socks. It might actually have been an anti-fad now that I think about it. I literally could not have looked less cool. Do you remember toe socks?
Toe socks?
I hated those.
I'm going to look this up now.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's weird. Oh.
Yeah, they were a
So
thing.
each toe had its own little...
Compartment, yes.
Ugh.
We hate it.
I don't like that one bit. You can still buy them, apparently.
I had a friend in high school who wore them, and she always wore like rainbow striped or, you
Yeah,
know.
I am seeing the rainbow striped ones here.
Yeah, there's nothing subtle about a toe sock.
Ugh. That creeps me out. I'm going to close this tab. I don't like that. I have a thing about socks. You know this.
Well, you don't like to be touched by someone who's
I don't.
wearing socks.
Right.
Not
and,
like,
and now I guess I'm just imagining if you wore toe socks
Oh,
and
yeah.
touched me, I would be, oof.
what would you rather
Shivers.
experience? Touched by a toe sock, touched by an angel,
Touched by
Or-
a toe sock.
or watch a Furby melt?
Oh, I would rather watch a Furby melt.
Oh, okay. That wasn't even a hard question
yeah,
for you.
that,
I see.
That doesn't bother me watching a Furby melt.
Wow, psycho.
Kristin, should we wrap up this incredible bonus episode of an old-timey podcast?
Let's do it. You know what they say about history, hoes? We always cite our sources.
That's right. For this episode, I got my information from a whole mess of sources. Check the show notes.
Oh, wow. That's all for this episode. Thank you for listening to an old-timey podcast.
Please give us a 5-star review wherever you listen to podcasts. And while you're at it, subscribe. Support us on Patreon. Oh, wait a second. If you're listening to this right now, you
Oh, my
already are
God.
doing that. So thank you very much. Well, maybe you could join the Reddit community, r/oldtimey podcast. Follow us on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram at oldtimey podcast. You can also follow us individually on Instagram. She is the beautiful Kristin Pitts Caruso.
Hello.
I go by Gaming Historian, and until next time, toodaloo, ta-ta, and cheerio.